Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is Accurate Context Live. Good morning, good morning. It is Thursday, and y'all, today, my little baby girl is graduating from kindergarten. So I was downstairs ironing, and I was like, darn it, I should set this thing for 6:15. Why am I still down here? So I ran up the stairs, opened up my laptop, and was like, go live, go live, go live, go live. All right, y'all. Please let me know if you are hearing me in the chat. Just leave me a comment real quick. Let me know that you can hear me. Leave me a 1. Give me a 1. Give me some eyeballs. You know that's my emoji of choice are the eyeballs. How I see things. I feel like the eyeballs are a little bit shady, or it can just mean I see you, we see each other. But please, I see the thing, the circle moving around around my icon or whatever. But just drop a 1 in the chat real quick to let me know that y'all can hear me so that we can start. This needs to be a quick live so that I can get on the road. A whole kindergartner, well, about to be a first grader now. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm the only one that if I'm the only parent that feels like, yeah, kindergarten, a VPK graduation is a big deal, a kindergarten graduation is a big deal, all of it. A moving up ceremony is a big deal. We have to celebrate our babies, even the tiniest of milestones. So I'm happy. Okay, thank you, Angel One, for being an angel and dropping that 1 in the chat so I know that y'all are hearing me. And I'm going to start. Replay gang. Well, those of you who are here, please go ahead and like this video. Thank you very much. And replay gang, please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so yet, and follow me at How I See It on Instagram, Twitter, now called X, and TikTok, so that y'all are up to date on whether I'm going live or if I'm posting a new video, or if for whatever reason something happens to my channel, y'all know exactly where to find me. So let's get into the video. Y'all saw the thumbnail. Y'all know why we are here. So word on the street is that the Melometers are unhinged. The Melometers are middle-aged bitter women. Melometers are a hate group, and Melometers are a cult. That is the word on the street, y'all. But doesn't that sound ridiculous? Does it not sound ridiculous? Because someone decided that they were going to come under one of my videos in the comment section and say that the Melometers are a cult. Now, I've heard some other content creators have said this, and I haven't been over to their channel because whatever. Nobody got time to be in your comment section windmilling when what you're saying is ridiculous and you know that it's ridiculous. But when somebody decides that they're going to bring it under one of my videos, when someone decides that they are going to bring that foolishness to my yard, then guess what? I have to windmill a little bit in the comment section. Yes, I did. And I can't remember what video it was. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, it was under my video, Mimosas with Melody, reason for LAMH cast no show revealed. Let me see if I can find that stupid comment. Close. Okay. It's only showing me the ones that I haven't responded to. I want to see all the comments. Okay. Move that. Yes, move that. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here it is. Why can't you find stuff when you want to find it? I can't find the comment now. I should have had it pulled up before I came. Okay, here it is. So 2 days ago, and I'm not gonna say the person's name because I'm not gonna give them. I'm not even gonna give them that benefit. So I'm not even gonna say their names. But if y'all want to see who it is, when this live is finished, you can go over to that video that I posted 2 days ago. And one of the comments from 2 days ago is if Melody don't want to speak out against the cult, then Tisha and Kimmy should protect themselves and not go anywhere that Melometers in numbers will be. Mel's not a good friend at all, and I'm surprised she's acting oblivious to what her so-called supporters be doing. And I left about under that one comment that person made, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about 4 comments because it's just weird behavior at this point that some of these people don't even know what the word cult means, but they are throwing it out there just so frivolously, like, come on, do better, do some research. Well, since they didn't want to do the research, I did. Because we have to set that straight. We have to change that narrative. And you know what? I'm going to get into why they're doing it close to the end of this video. Right? Because we don't see people calling the Beehive a cult. We don't see people calling the Barbs a cult. We don't even see people calling the fans of Star Trek a cult. And those people, they go up for Star Trek. Like, sometimes I be wondering, like, okay, Star Trek has been like ages ago. You know which other show? Star Wars. We don't hear people calling the fans of Star Wars a cult. So why is the Melometers? Why are Melometers being called a cult? What is a cult? Let's discuss. Because y'all know accurate context is about research. It's about bringing facts to a conversation. Accurate context is about telling truth, backed by information. Because I'm a researcher, y'all. I love to read. And so once I feel like it's an interesting topic, I'm going to research it. And that's exactly what I did for this. So, what is a cult? A cult is a group or movement that is centered around a particular set of beliefs or practices, typically led by a charismatic. Why am I going to fumble on this word? A charismatic leader. Cults often have a strong influence on their members and may exhibit controlling or manipulative behavior. They can be characterized by their exclusivity, devotion to a specific ideology, and the psychological or emotional control exerted over their followers. It is important, however, to note that all groups with unconventional beliefs or practices are not considered cults. Okay, so that's my disclaimer. as the term cults is typically used to describe groups that are considered harmful or dangerous. Now, what are the characteristics of a cult? The characteristics vary, so let's jump into it, right? One, they have a charismatic leader. Cults are often led by charismatic individuals who possess strong persuasive skills and have the ability to influence and control their followers. Two, manipulation and control. Cult leaders exert a high level of control over their members, often through psychological manipulation, isolation from outside influences, and strict rules and regulations. I want to read that part again. One of the characteristics of a cult is manipulation and control, something that I don't see existing within the Melometer space, but that might just be me, right? Cult leaders exert a high level of control over their members, often through psychological manipulation, isolation from outside influences. Now, Melometers, are y'all being isolated from outside influences? Let the people know in the chat if y'all are being isolated from outside influences. Do Melometers have strict rules that they have to follow and strict regulations? Let the people know, y'all, because that's a characteristic. That's a characteristic of a cult. Three, exclusive beliefs. Cults typically have unique and exclusive beliefs that set them apart from mainstream society. These beliefs may be centered around conspiracy theories, apocalyptic prophecies, or alternative spiritual or religious ideologies. Why are these words tripping me up this morning? Jesus, hate that for me. So, Melometers, do conspiracy theories exist within the Melometer group? Are there end time prophecies? Do we believe in any end time prophecies in the Melometer group? Are we practicing any alternative spiritual belief system or ideologies? Because I don't see where that exists within the Melometer group, the group that people are saying, is a cult. Or is it that speaking up against a man who has shown abusive qualities, a man who has admitted to sending harassing text messages and has now been convicted of DV in the third degree? Is it that speaking up and about those issues? I don't know. Is that a belief that's not a part of mainstream society to speak up on things like that? Is that what they're saying? Make it make sense. 4 is groupthink. Cults discourage independent thinking and promote group cohesion. Members are expected to conform to the group's beliefs and may face consequences if they question or challenge the leader or the group's teachings. I don't see where Melometers are teaching anything that requires cohesion or groupthink. I see bloggers out here thinking for themselves, coming up with their own opinions and sharing it. That's what I see, but I could be wrong. 5, exploitation. Cults often exploit their members financially, emotionally, or sexually. They may require members to donate large sum of money, give up personal possessions, or engage in harmful practices under the guise of spiritual or personal development. Is any of that happening within the Melometer fan base? I say no. But again, I could be wrong. I know I'm not wrong. I'm going to keep saying that though, just to be funny. Isolation. Cults often isolate their members from friends, family, and the outside world. These isolations serve to increase the group's control over its members and prevent them from seeking alternative perspectives. Again, are Melometers being isolated from their family and their friends? Are they being forced to donate money in large sum and give up their personal possessions in the name of the Melometers? Is that what's happening? Because if that's not happening, and we know that's not happening, then the Melometers can't be defined as a cult. 7, thought control. Cult members or cults employ various techniques to control and manipulate the thoughts and behaviors of their members. These may include indoctrination, thought stopping techniques, and the use of repetitive rituals or practices. What is a fan base? Let's get into that. A fan base, also known as a fandom, refers to a group of enthusiastic and dedicated fans who share a common interest in a particular person, group, team, brand, or work of art. These fans are passionate about their chosen interest and actively engage in supporting and promoting it. A fan base can form around a wide range of subjects, including celebrities, musicians, athletes, TV shows, movies, books, video games, and even specific genres of subcultures. Members of a fan base often connect and interact with one another through various platforms such as social media, fan forums, fan clubs, conventions, or fan events. Fan bases can be highly supportive and create a sense of community among members who share a common passion. They may engage in activities such as creating fan art, writing fan fiction, organizing fan events, or participating in discussion about their favorite subject. Fan bases can have a significant impact on the success and popularity of the entity they support, as their enthusiasm and dedication often translates into increased attention, sales, and overall engagement. It sounds like the Melometers to me. The Melometers sound like every other fan base out there that's not being called a cult. Good morning, my name Unli. How are you? Now let's dive into the differences between a cult and a fan base. Now, while both a fan base and a cult involve a group of passionate followers, there are significant differences between the two, which has already been outlined, but let's still dive into it some more. One, first difference, purpose and focus. A fan base typically revolves around a particular person, group, brand, or work of art that fans admire and support. The focus is primarily on the subject of interest, such as a celebrity's work, a sports team's performance, or a TV show's storyline. In contrast, a cult usually centers around a charismatic leader or a set of beliefs or ideologies that the followers adhere to. Two, level of intensity is the second difference. Fan bases are generally characterized by enthusiasm, support, and enjoyment of a specific interest. While fans can be highly dedicated and passionate, their involvement is typically based on personal enjoyment and admiration. On the other hand, Cults tend to involve extreme devotion and often require members to conform to strict rules, rituals, or ideologies. Third difference: autonomy and critical thinking. Fan bases usually allow for individual autonomy and independent thinking. As I said earlier, the Melometers, the proud Melometers who are on YouTube doing their videos, they are coming up with their own thought process, their own opinions, right? I did a video the other day where I talked about destiny, and I talked about how I have conflicting sympathies when it comes on to destiny. There are other people who they don't have any sympathy for destiny. They feel like she is getting exactly what she deserved. They don't believe that there could possibly be any level of, well, they don't believe her story that there was a SWAT team and maybe there wasn't a SWAT team. They don't believe that LeBerick called the police. They don't believe that there was any DV in Destiny's marriage. And that's for them to say. My opinion is I don't know. So I'm not going to speak on whether Destiny experienced the DV or not, right? Employing what? Independent thinking. Because if the Melometers were a cult, then I would be on the side of everybody else or some of the other people who have no empathy for destiny. Or maybe they have a little bit of empathy, but they're not going to say it. And that's their prerogative. Fans can have different opinions or preferences within the fan community and may engage in healthy discussions or debates. There are tons and tons and tons of Melometers who do not agree with the behavior of some of the other Melometers. I've seen that so many times. I've been in chats. I've heard panel discussions where people say, yeah, some Melometers do too much. Now, if the Melometer camp was actually a cult, then you would not hear people making those statements because they would be going against the strict rules of the so-called cult. Cults, on the other hand, often exert control over their members' thoughts and actions, discouraging critical thinking or different viewpoints. Fourth difference: social impact. Fan bases often have a positive impact on the entities they support, contributing to their popularity, success, and financial gains. They create a sense of community and shared enthusiasm among members. Cults, on the other hand, can have a negative impact on individuals' lives, often involving manipulation, coercion, or exploitation of their followers. So, with all that being said, let me ask the people who call the Melometers a cult this. Do you see Melody isolating her fans? Do you see her coercing them into doing anything? Do the Melometers have rituals or harmful ideologies? Are y'all saying that calling out a man for being abusive is cult behavior and a hate group behavior? Calling out his mistress, who is still being disrespectful, that's cult-like behavior? Are you saying that calling out people on that show who are blatantly telling lies about their businesses and lifestyles, something that fans of the housewife shows also do? Are you saying that that makes the Melometers a cult? Y'all are saying that engaging in comments in the comment section of social media correcting untruths, because most of us who follow Love and Marriage Huntsville, outside of just watching the show, and have certain nuances and information and have accurate context, that when we engage in social media and correct something that is a blatant untruth, that's cult-like behavior. I need these people who continue to say that Melometers are a cult to show me one blogger who's been manipulated into speaking up for Melody, who's been coerced into speaking up for Melody, who's been forced to speak up for Melody. Show me one. I'll wait. All these people who are calling the Melometers a cult, show me one Melometer fan who is being forced to give up their possessions, to give up a lump sum of money in the name of being a Melometer. Show me one fan. Because not all Melometers are on social media talking. Not all Melometers are on YouTube sharing their opinions. So show me one Melometer who's out here being manipulated in that way. Again, I said, I'll wait. Show me one content creator who is under some mind control and is using their entire existence to defend Melody on their YouTube like a mindless zombie. Show me one. Show me one content creator who is giving up every single penny they earn from their YouTube videos to Melody Cherie. Show me one. Because y'all are the ones out here calling the group a cult and a hate group. But you see, I see what they're doing, y'all. I see what y'all are doing calling Melometers a cult. Because it adds a level of stigma that may cause many of Melody's fans to not refer to themselves as Melometers anymore, thus kind of disbanding the fan base. And that's what y'all want. And the reason why some people may not want to call themselves a Melometer is because now they're going to have this fear of being unfairly judged or unfairly stereotyped. They want to misrepresent why the Melometer fan base truly exists. And why? Because Melody had no allies on that show for how many seasons? And she still does not really have an ally on that show. And people like myself, I saw the gang up and I began speaking out about it. Like many other content creators, like many other people on YouTube. It was like watching the show and thinking, am I crazy? This lady isn't even bothering anybody. This lady is not even bothering that man. And he keeps coming for her. And when she responds, now she's the villain. They want to represent the Melometers. They want to represent actually not, they want to misrepresent. They want to misrepresent women speaking up about a man who dragged his ex-wife to family court for no good reason. A man who was harassing her and threatened to release revenge plea on her as part of an alleged plot. A man who has bloggers out here questioning his daughter's paternity. Y'all want to turn fans speaking up on how the cast has come onto social media over and over again to clown Melody through this whole divorce process or through that divorce process. Because I remember some of those lives Tisha and Marsaw did. One of those lives where they talked about the custody battle and Tisha was laughing and giddy about it. That's deplorable, Marsaw. To come on your Instagram live laughing about a custody case for children who y'all know personally. We don't know these people personally, and we don't think it's a laughing matter, but y'all know these people personally. Before this show, y'all were in their homes, eating at their table, holding their children, probably hugging their children. A custody battle, in some ways, can be traumatic for children. And the fact that Melody was unfairly, in my opinion, dragged through family court because her ex-husband wanted to exert some control over her and wanted to know her comings and goings and didn't want her gay brother to watch his children. And so he started to put out these random numbers of 20 babysitters, 10 babysitters. And y'all thought that was funny, Tisha? But y'all want to call us deplorables? The Melometers are deplorables when y'all were on that live laughing about a whole custody case? If it was me and Marcel wanted these children, I would just give them to him. That's what Tisha said. Because it's a joke. It was a joke to her. And so when the fan base begins to call that out and begins to talk about how some of these cast members, their moms, have verbally attacked Melody, calling her out her name, all kind of bees and hoes for no good reason. And when some of these cast members, their moms, are on social media speaking on Melody's children, and when we bring that back, when we run that back, when we run that information back and say, this is why we don't see it for these people on the show, then it becomes the Melometers are a hate group. The Melometers are unhinged. The Melometers are a cult. Because we're calling this BS out. Because we're telling the truth about what has actually taken place, where there's evidence. That makes the Melometers a cult. Isn't that crazy, y'all? Y'all, they want to turn fans debunking lies and speaking on these serious issues. They want to call us unhinged and a cult. And that's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing. Because they want to damage the reputation of those who proudly state that they're Melometers. That's what they want to do. They want to have us being classed as crazy and unhinged and bitter, but it's not going to work. It's not working. They're grasping at straws at this moment. The fact that a fan base has become the talking point. The fact that a fan base, it seems, is about to be the main storyline of a whole reality TV show, because some of these people, they can't talk about their lawsuits for businesses that they claim is just so successful when there's no evidence of them completing any jobs, allegedly. They don't want to talk about how somebody can have 85, 90% ownership of a company, but have absolutely no involvement in the day-to-day operation of said company. That don't make no sense. Where do they do that at? You don't know what buildings are being built. You don't know when an office is going to be completed. You don't know what the people on the work sites have going on, allegedly. But you don't own 90% of the company. And when that's being called out, Now it's a hate group calling y'all out. It's, people are unhinged because they're like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. That don't make any sense. Y'all want to tell a fan base to only talk about what happens on the show. Have y'all watched The Real Housewives of any of these cities? Michael Darby, his shenanigans down there in Africa, where he is buying up all these lands in a war-torn part of Africa. That's not a part of that was never a part of the Real Housewives of Potomac, but that didn't stop somebody from going digging and talking about it. Michael Darby's and Candice Dillard's Bassett's court case last year, that wasn't a part of the Real Housewives of Potomac when he filed that lawsuit, but that didn't stop the fans from go digging that up to find out if the case was dismissed or not. And the case was dismissed because the Lord loves his children. A lot of things that people talk about within the reality TV landscape, a lot of the things that people talk about within the reality TV landscape, it's not things that happens on the show. People are talking about Kenya's hair care spa. Somebody left a horrible review about their experience traveling from some other country to come and experience Kenya's salon. And more bloggers are talking about that bad review now. That's not, I don't think that's going to be a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Portia and Simon. And Simon's whole legal mess with the US government and citizenship and green cards and whatever. That didn't stop a lot of these bloggers from going digging because it wasn't on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So what makes these Love and Marriage Huntsville cast members feel like they're just so exempt from the things that other reality stars on major networks are dealing with? If y'all can't handle the fire, get out. Y'all can't handle the heat, get out of the reality TV kitchen. Y'all don't want to be talked about, become private citizens again. Y'all don't want a fan base to bring up how Maurice was thanking Kimmy for basically rolling over and taking it, even though her body was going through chemo. If y'all don't want us talking about it, that fact, that didn't happen on the show. He went on a whole podcast interview with Carlos and said that mess. But we're not supposed to talk about that? Make it make sense. So as I just outlined, the Melometer fan base, we can't be a cult. We don't exhibit any of the characteristics of a cult. Ain't no manipulation going on. Nobody is giving up lump sums of money and personal possessions. Nobody is engaging in groupthink. Nobody's being isolated from their families and their friends. Nobody's thoughts are being controlled through techniques and through indoctrination and through repetitive ritualistic practices. We're just talking about a show and we're just supporting our fave on that show. And we're talking about real life stuff. Like a man trying to put revenge P out there on his ex-wife. And mamas who are disgusted in the things that they talk about when it comes to children. That's what we're talking about. So if that makes the fan base a hate group, well, I guess if that makes the fan base a cult, then I guess. But it's not. So cut it out. And to that person who commented that mess on my channel, you're always welcome, because you're going to be checked every time, and you're going to be checked with facts. And speaking of facts, if y'all want to go read up on the characteristics of a cult and the difference between a cult and a fan base, y'all can go read this article, From Fandom to Cult, by Celie Harrington, I think it is, and a journal article called Cults and Fanatics. It's a psychological approach, it's a psychological perspective, by Benjamin Zablocki. Because as I said, we have references over here, okay? We don't just talk outside, the corner of our minds. We give facts, and we can give references to back up everything that we have said over here. Right? So y'all, thank you for listening. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter now called X, and TikTok at How I See It. And until next time, walk good. Bye.